When I went back to graduate school at age 50, I went back to do drawing and painting, and particularly, like I said, because Mother was a watercolorist and really bizarre in terms of that day and age and her age and stuff. It's really amazing. But anyway, got there and discovered it wasn't my voice. They were terrible what I was doing, and I took a Photo 1 course, and it was like, oh my God, this is my voice. It was absolutely amazing. So that was the beginning of the photography stuff, and so like I said, when I finished, then I moved back to Fairhope. I needed to figure out how to make a living at that point. And so I applied to the Alabama State Arts Council to do the Artist in Education thing. When I developed a program with Pinky's portable pop-up pinhole camera and darkroom that I drove all around the state of Alabama. And basically, like I said, I started out being a photographer, but then I'm always looking for the edge, for something that gives me energy and moves me out beyond. But somehow for me, the whole process is always about discovery, about something, learning something new, finding new ways of looking at the world, looking at myself, and moving out into the world. So I think, when I'm honest, I'll say that I'm probably more interested in process than anything. But on the other hand, my thesis was entitled Steal the Elixir and Run. And it was all from that Joseph Campbell cycle of life. And it's like all the good stuff that I had from being a Presbyterian missionary and my life in that world, I didn't just throw it away. I just took it with me and stole the elixir and kept running with it. So basically, I don't like using the word mystery anymore. It just seems like it's so common, but there is something about this whole idea of, like, I don't know everything. And and it's like all of a sudden, when Doug got me started doing this eco printing stuff, it was like, oh my God, this is so, it was like, yes. It was like a whole new way of looking at things and seeing a new process. And the other day I thought, oh my God, it's the same as being a pinhole photographer. You don't know what the heck you're getting until you look at it. It's like, okay, full cycle all the way around. But it's just, actually, it's like the whole thing of pinhole photography, as I say, what was so valuable. I was taking regular photographs, and they were boring. It's like, this isn't any good. And then John McWilliams was my professor, and he said, why don't you try pinhole? It was like, was a whole new way of discovering new stuff. And so what I realized was that I liked that kind of process. So then when I tried to do some of these other things, it's interesting to me that when I started stitching on photographs, that seemed so foreign and so different from the other thing. And I couldn't quite figure out what that was all about, but I still needed that photographic image to be the beginning point. To just start and do stitchery on something made no sense. So then that kind of informed that. And then the whole thing of threads and how they work and our connection to nature. All of these things just seem to fold in on each other. And it's like, now, the way I look at all of these images that are from the eco printing, it's made me see the world in a different way. So therefore, the kind of photographs I would use or include are different than they would have been, when I was just doing photography. I think it's called Rhea is the title I gave it. It was, Kitty and I did a show in which we used feminine mythological figures as sort of the bouncing off place. And this is one that I did in South Carolina after the Hurricane Hugo came in there. And there were all these uprooted trees. It was a double exposure, a Polaroid double exposure. And it's an image of my face, a self-portrait thing, and then exposed. And it's an image in which it looks like the roots are just coming out of my head. So that was one that I just, here again, say it is the figure with nature. You know, I hadn't kind of put that together, but it's kind of like an eco print, and like what I'm coming back to doing. What I see when we do this eco printing stuff is it's an abstract, back to my mother's kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, I haven't done this literally. I mean, most of the pieces that are going to be in the show are not a literal how a blind person would see, but it becomes all more of an idea about, I don't know, the pieces all kind of fit together. So that basically is what I've been working on. And there's darkness, there's abstractions, there's quirks, things that are twisted, and I just, like I said, I keep doing these, but I'm still wanting to keep those photographic images coming into it, and that's genealogies, objects. I mean, and as you said, and that was part of this blind vision show. It's like, I've got these things that I've saved that have some kind of value to me. Now I'm using them, you know. It's like, so yeah, it's worth it to keep them.